I feel like everybody has their one weakness for furniture on some kind of firearm, weapon, whatever. A design thing they absolutely cannot resist, even if it's on complete and utter trash. And for me, my weakness is that kind of enclosed grip thing. I don't know what it is about it. Not very many Nerf blasters use this thing, but when they do, I always say they're amazing. Some people really like thumbhole stocks or certain sights or angled foregrips or completely vertical foregrips. I like the kind of enclosed grip. I don't know what you would call that thing. So when I saw the kind of revealed pictures of the Stockshot, it has that grip that I love and I can never get enough of. Oh, just right there, that makes me want to love this blaster so much, and I'm really hoping this thing is good, but I mean, well, we have to compare it to the barrel strike, which if you haven't seen my video on, you could check it out right over here, but it's very similar. At the same time, this is a completely different thing because it's not a barrel attachment, it is a blaster that is also a stock. So we also have to compare it to the Strike and Defend stock, which came with the little shield and everything for like 12 bucks. Well, this is 15 by itself. It does come with this blaster and the 4 Modulus Elite darts that come with it. So is it worth it? Well, this kind of fills in a weird role. Right off the bat, the design is very attractive to me. It does have this kind of stock thing right here. It's never going to be used at all. If the barrel strike had a short stock, this thing is even shorter, but it does have a very nice sling point right here, and that just kind of works as like a wrist stabilizer. Not that it necessarily needs it, but it does feel really good to point and all that kind of stuff with, you know, some really basic iron sights up at the top of it. But of course, the whole thing is it's a Jolt Prime blaster. You pull that down and there is a lot of draw, and then you can fire the thing. And this thing, for whatever reason, seemed to hit a little bit harder than the barrel strike. I think some of the shots were just kind of iffy because I got like a 70 something out of it. But as with all smart AR systems, you load 4 darts. Every time you prime it, you get 1 shot. But you don't have to reload it until all 4 darts are gone. It will kind of just work its way around and shoot each dart one by one. Unless they're bad darts, then it will shoot multiple, which is never really that good unless you have enough spring power to maintain that. In stock, these things don't. But on top of being a pretty decent blaster in my opinion, although it is a lot chunkier than the barrel strike, it is a stock. You press this switch right here, and this front part will pull out and it locks in place, and you could use it as a stock attachment on whatever blaster you want. Like, let's say you wanted to do it on, here it is, the good old Garbage Scout. Slide that thing on there, and holy crap, that is a long stock. Although it's not the most secure thing in the world because it's really only got this one mounting bar right here. You can kind of see I can flex it a little bit. But something I wasn't expecting, besides it, I think this is one of the longest Nerf stocks I have ever seen. It is completely adjustable. So if I want to just kind of bring it in a little bit and have it locked in like that, it's still going to kind of flex on me a little bit, which is a bit of a shame, but it's now in that position. If I wanted to go even farther, I can, but this is the maximum I can go in. And at this point, it's banging against the darts, so I would have to unload these darts in order to get it into any other position. So we pull those out, we'll put it in the second position, and even with it kind of touching now, still a lot of wobble, a lot of bend. And there's not really gonna be a good way of fixing that. Now, it's not nearly as bad as some other stocks we've seen from Nerf in the past, but it's definitely got some give right there. But it's so big. I mean, even at the second position, that thing is huge. So for those of you that have just monkey arms, this is gonna work really well for you. And then of course, it will not latch in the first position. When it's on a blaster, you would have to remove it. And that kind of kills its usefulness if you have huge arms yeah, you could totally use this, and, you know, obviously the best part would be when you have the, you know, the stock shot and the barrel shot strike on the same blaster. That's 2 blasters that you could give out to people on the field. I mean, it would be even better if you could have both blasters hooked together and then take them apart and use them as well, like that one assault rifle from the new Call of Duty that I haven't played because I'm so tired of loot boxes. I'm not going to deal with loot boxes anymore, and that's a rage for another time. But I ultimately have to compare the 2 blasters because they're both very similar. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to give it to the barrel strike. This thing does look cool, and if you have a use for this kind of blaster, you need a stock, you don't mind that it's a little wobbly, and you want the ability to unhook this thing and use it as a separate pistol, totally go for it. But $15, it looks cool, it really does, but even the strike and defend stock, that thing had a lot of dead space. It did not fire as hard as this thing, but at the end of the day, there were some blasters that you could fire the blaster on while it was on there, so you can kind of reach back and grab it, and then, you know, fire it like that. It would fire over the railings on some blasters, not all. Some would even need some modification to do it, but this thing, I'm not really complaining all that much because I still think this looks absolutely rad. I would probably use this just as is, but then you're talking the fact that it's a single shot, you know, jolt primed 4-dart smart AR thing, and it can be a stock if you want it to be, and it does look pretty darn cool as a stock. And if you really need that just huge stock right there, it will do it. It certainly will. I can't really comfortably use this thing in the 4th position, just maybe. That, like, it's like the same size as the blaster. Look at that. That is intense. It honestly doesn't really work like that, but, and there's one other thing that I was really hoping that for the initial deployment, this top rail, like when you press this button, it would shoot out just as a little cool feature, and it doesn't, and that was kind of disappointing. Maybe if you really like the design, you like the idea of the stock, you don't mind that's a little wobbly, I don't really see a way to increase that the way it mounts, but you can certainly try. But it's a 4-dart smart AR system thing that I thought I would like a lot more, but honestly, if you're gonna pick up one of the 2, I think the barrel strike might be a better idea. But go ahead and let me know how wrong I am down in the comment boxes below. And if you think this thing has some kind of hidden potential, well, I'm guessing the internals are the exact same. They are exactly the same. You can tell even by looking at the plunger tube, it's identical to the barrel strike. Yeah, well, there might be some modification potential there. So let me know what you think down in the comment boxes. And of course, if you like this kind of thing, hit the like button. And if you don't see any use for it and you think it's a complete waste of plastic, the dislike button is there for you as well. I'm Walcom S7. Thank you so much for watching this video. And of course, I hope to see you in an entirely different one. What has science done? It's like the longest blaster since like the Centurion. And it's got 3 grips because you gotta have 3 grips for your 3 arms. Huh.